everything.
Alright, we're going to take this Honda 400EX motor and we're going to turn it into a 440EX motor. We bought one of the 440 upgrade kits, and it's got high compression springs for the head. We're going to have to replace new cylinder, new head studs, obviously bigger piston, 11-to-1 ratio, because if you run it any higher, you'll need race fuel. So this will be pretty much balls out when we're done with it. There is not much else you can do. Well, let's see what $1,000 will buy you. Got this package in the mail here the other day. Been itching to open it, but didn't have nobody to record it, and I'm kind of shit with a camera, so especially when I'm all by myself, gotta hold the camera and try to make sure you're still pointing at the thing you're trying to record. It's difficult. Packaged in here pretty good. Everything seems nice and tight. All right. Ooh, fancy Wisco piston. There you go. Instructions. Cylinder. Let's see what this guy looks like. I always worry they're going to send you some kind of Chinese bullshit. You out of fucking Chinesium. Guaranteed to melt the first time you start it up. Let's take a look at this guy. Ooh, look at that. That's packaged pretty nicely there. It's got a cutout. This is fucking fancy. Ooh, yeah. For that much money, I want to use both hands when I pull this fucker out of the box. Certainly packaged nicely. You guys want to get a good look at that? There you go. Well, it's got the CC mark on it, but there's none of the casting marks that a standard piston would have, which kind of makes me worried a little bit. See, you have your casting marks on there that show that it's a OEM. This one is not. All right. Well, nice packaging if nothing else. So I forgot to mention earlier, but this is from BP Racing. So, gasket kit. Looks okay. Kibble white. Fancy springs right here. We'll open those in a minute. It was $800, I do believe. I'll have to double check and edit that out later if I'm wrong. But yeah, this is pretty much everything you need to do this. I mean, we bought an additional clutch pack to redo the clutches on it, and then yeah, let's get to fucking work. This just in. 10% off your next order for 3 minutes of your time. Max Lot stud kit installation kit. And a bunch of other shit that's probably not for this vehicle. Yeah. Alright. Well, them instructions ain't real helpful. We're where do we start? Yes, let's change out the timing chain. So I'll back all these out, and then I'll create a cardboard template like I did when I took that apart. So that way, every bolt goes back into the same hole it came out of. And then I'll have to remember where everyone went. Because as I get older, that gets harder. Fucking throwing shit at me. Motherfuckers. It's like work under pressure. Woo, smells burnt. This motherfucker got hot. I will bet money that this motherfucker got hot. Hot, hot. Filter looks good, so let's take care of it at least. That's something. All right. Now we need to get a piece of cardboard that was thrown at me. Create our pattern. All right, here we go. So nobody wants to see that boring shit where we make the pattern, but you know. Okay, we'll set that guy off to the side for a minute. All right. Do not pull this up. Do not pull this up. It's spring in there and a bunch of other dumb shit. So if you just keep that in there, you don't have to fuck with it. Now this has some pry points. I might have to do some prying. But right now, I'm just going to try to knock it loose here. Well, there you go. She popped. Alright. Come on. You know you wanna. You wanna come apart. There we go. It has begun. So yeah, this is all that stupid shit that you gotta fuck with if you pull that out of there. Don't do that. You'll spend another 20 minutes dicking with that. There you go. Alright, that side's open. Alright, so we're going to take the clutch off, oil pump, and then I can get this gear off right here. Yep, if I take this, all the plates out, huh? There we go. Alright, so we got the basket off of here, and if you look, I don't know how it looks on the camera, but so you see these ridges here? This is going to have to be filed down because if it gets hard to shift, it's these ridges that prevent you from shifting. So it'll prevent you from getting your clutch all the way out. It'll just feel weird when you shift. Your clutch won't be able to squeeze your clutch in all the way, and it'll drag and stick and be hard to shift. So anyway, these need to be filed down. You see that there's a couple of little ridges on there. So to save your basket, which these are damned expensive, I looked them up, they're very expensive, you can just get rid of them ridges, which I'll have to do. I'm sure I'll put that in the video. So let's take this guy out, and then I do believe so this is your oil catch deal. Check to see if there's any metal shavings or anything down inside here. Come on. There's a little bit of shit there. Not a lot. Oh, geez. Oh, good thing I did that. Bunch of crap down in there. Alright, we got it cleaned up here. Oop, missed a spot here. Oh, fuck. Alright, should I be like... Alright, so take this freaking piece out before it falls down into your motor. You spend 2 minutes fishing that damn thing out. It goes in this little hole right here. Hopefully that shows on camera. Let me double check this gasket. All right. Come on. There you go. Alright, so this ain't real glamorous, but if you ever wonder why I charge you for the hours that I do, is because of this tedious shit right here that has to be done. Otherwise you'll end up with an oil stain in the middle of your garage. It's tedious. It's a good time though. You gotta get all the little bits off. All right, here we go. We're gonna replace this here clutch. Got the plates are soaking. So we're gonna go. Alright, so just make sure I don't mess up here. I'm just going to keep flipping these over so that way my brain doesn't get addled. And day 2, this just in. Max Lock stud kit. Sucks dick. Or it should be called Max Cock, because they got a floppy wang. I don't have policy, you're not imagining things. This was fucking bent right from the factory, which is good quality there. And then on this one, the fucking studs were mashed, or the studs. The threads on the stud was mashed to where I couldn't even get the fucker in. And then once we got them in, they were still wobbly all the way bottomed out. Like you could sit there and fucking jiggle it. These are not good studs. Like, BP Racing sent me this kit, and overall I gotta say, not impressive. Like, this is one of the things that the 400EX has problems with, are the studs stretching and breaking. And if you're gonna go 440 kit, you need good studs, and these are not good. Max Cock, Max Lock. Don't buy them. They're fucking garbage. Anyway, so we went with some different ones here. Gonna get our crack baggie here. You look at these fucking things right here. I don't know if the camera can see that, but like on a stock one, the threads actually stick out from the rod, whereas these threads are like pretty much flush. with the rod. So it's like maximum metal that you can get here. We had to drill out the old holes and retap the holes to fit this pitch right here, which is a 7/16/14 coarse thread, which is way better than old Maxcock. Like, these are not even in the same fucking ballpark. These are good, bad. Like, might as well use the fucking stock ones. At least those aren't bent. Might be stretched out. Anyway, so we got these ones here. These are $100 for a set of these, and they're from Schnur Interlock, and they send a quality sticker. This right here, you could patch your inner tube with this, maybe a tire. I don't even know. Like, this thing, if it wasn't so loud, I'd put it on the toolbox. I'm kind of proud of this thing. Like, I'm gonna show this to the kids. I'm like, yeah, can't have it. Dad's got good stickers, not you. Anyway, so we're gonna put this stud in here using the old Forever Tight, because, you know, hopefully these things never come out. There's an interesting video online about how to correctly apply Loctite. And if you guys get a chance, you should go watch it. It's fucking amazing. So you just wind this guy down the hole. Then you gotta set this old girl on there. So it's important how high these things ride so that there's clearance inside the head. These ones, even though they're tapped all the way down, seem to ride a little high. But I don't think it'll be an issue. It's just a little bit. Another millimeter or two, you know. So all these are sitting a little bit high. Hopefully that won't cause an issue. The threads are all the way down. That's it. Just use that bottom. Alright, give this another look-see. This one is reading 6 millimeters above. So we're gonna have to look into why that is like that. Yeah, we'll just find out here later when we put it all together, see if this causes an issue on the head. These ride a little bit higher, and it might be because this is not an OEM cylinder. So we'll find out. I mean, worst case scenario, if we need to get a couple extra millimeters, we'll use an open nut instead of the cap nut that Honda likes to put on these here things. Anyway, so we'll be installing this here fancy Wisco piston. Woohoo. Oh, got some oils on it. Nice and shiny. Anyway, we're going to be putting that on here in the next moment. Alright, so we got the cylinder bolts tightened down. Now I can't hold the motor, run the torque wrench, and do the camera all at the same time. So you have to trust me that we torqued them down to 33 foot-pounds and that everything is snugged down as it should be. So next step is to put the head on here, which is always a fun juggling act as you try to get... Where the hell did my magnet go now? I think we're going to take this guy off for now. Alright, so we put brand new Kibble White springs, new valve guide seals, new valves, lap the valves. Oh yeah, that's something I got to show you guys. This is what a bad valve looks like. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera. Hopefully you can. But that fucker is sharp. You could slice a motherfucker with that. Wouldn't be long before that thing dropped down. Sucked in and dropped down. So, doing a high performance build, need new valves. Everything else is new. Fuck it, why not? Alright, so we got to put this guy on top of this here cylinder. Yeah. Alright, wait. Make sure you put your gasket on. You're going to be all kinds of upset if you don't. Then you got to take it back off again. Make sure that this faces the right way, although they kind of make it foolproof. Make sure all your holes line up. Your girlfriend will appreciate that too. Get the magnet handy. It's got to be nice and gentle. Oop, don't you do it. There we go, she's down. Alright, put our bolts on here, nuts I mean, and washers. And this big fat fucker right there. You know what, looking at this, I'm not going to be able to use the cap nuts for sure because these stick up way too far for a cap nut to seat properly on there. So we're going to have to find us some open-faced bolts. I think I'm just going to ditch all the cap nuts because there's no way that's going down on there. So it turns out the Max Cock wasn't a complete waste of time. I mean, we got these nuts from them, so hey, maybe not the shittiest, but definitely not my heroes. Send a floppy fucking stud. What the fuck? sure nobody wants to watch me wind down a bunch of fucking nuts. So I'm sure this will be sped up. Alright, so we got the cam in here. Took a lot of fuckery to get this thing in. So you have to take the cam and put the gear inside the timing chain, take the cam, slide it through there with the bearing on, and then get one bolt in here, get the bearing in, and this little dowel has to go in at the end as like a keeper to keep the bearing from coming off. So there was just a lot, and I couldn't hold the camera to do it. So cam's in, timing chain tensioner is in. Everything seems to be pretty good here. Now we just put the rocker box on and make sure that everything is loosened up beforehand, so that way you don't have to fight with it when you get it on. So the fun part is keeping everything up while you put this on. So see how they just want to move all on their own. No dowels or nothing there? Okay, everything looks good. So make sure I put this on the right way. Alright, so now when I put this on here, I got to make sure that you cooperate with me here. Alright. Once we get that installed, we got to put all the bolts back in this old girl. Goes back to our handy dandy pattern here, which is very helpful. Basically pick a spot and start putting the bolts back in. Alright, we got the rocker box on here. We adjusted the intake to 0.05, 0.005, and the exhaust 0.006, or 0.13 millimeters and 0.15 millimeters. Something I forgot to cover was when you put these fancy hot cams in, you got to take this out right here. See this little plunger here? See this? This has to come out. And then deep down inside of here, there's a spring that everybody forgets to take out. Let me get a little bit better position here, but there it is. See it? See that little spring right there? Now I'm gonna put this one back together, but that has to come out of there. So we're just gonna put that guy right back down in there. Put this guy back down in its hole. There we go. All right. So hopefully I got this close up here. It's this little plunger here. That's for a stock cam. That's the oil plunger for the compression release. So that has to come out with a hot cam. Hopefully you guys can see that. Oh, what else was there? Oh, another wonderful thing from look at these. This is the one they sent. This is one out of my set. These damn near sit flush. These actually sit up nice, and you can see them. These ones you can barely even see right on that edge there. So I doubt they would have sealed, or if they did seal, they wouldn't have sealed for very long. So put this all back on here, and then we got the one side to put back together. By the way, we took this off to make sure, A, that we could change or change out the clutch, file down the clutch basket and change out the clutch plates. And then also we left it off to make sure that the timing chain was sitting around the gear as it should, so that way nothing got messed up, because sometimes when you're just trying to fish it through there, it just does not want to go on there. So if you take this off, you should just leave this off till the end, so that way you can make sure that your timing chain is positioned correctly. My bad, it's BP Racing. Forgot their name already. I bought sets from them before and haven't had problems. I'm thinking that they're suffering supply chain problems, you know, like everybody else. China's going back on lockdown. We ain't gonna get no parts. Stock up now. All right, we got the one case side to put back on, these to tighten down, and then I think we are done. All right, hopefully this was helpful. We'll show you the last little bit here though. Put this last cover back on. It's got this stupid fucking spring mechanism here, you know, for the clutch, like all of them do. But what you got to do is you have to put that in there over it and then scoop it, so that way it goes up underneath here. It's fucking great. I'm sure you're gonna see me swear a whole lot, yell at it. All right, here we go. Let's see if I get fucking lucky. Let's bring this back so that it's clear. Holy fuck, I think I got it. Start at the top here, you know where the gasket fits. All right. This little spring here goes right down in here. You want to make sure that the writing is out. All right, tighten this old girl down. I think we're pretty much done. So I got the cover on. I got the clutch cable majigger on there. And there we go. Here is your 440 big board kit. This thing's going to be a rocket. I hope I can get some footage from the guy when he puts it back into his machine. And if I do get it, I'll put it back on here in its own separate video. Until next time, see you guys later. And if anybody could guess, it was a Honda all along.